girl with a preppy vibe. Came to the spot with a friend of mine. She caught my eye. From the beginning, I was hooked. I can't tell a lie. Fresh, dressed, and fly. I respect her mind.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Sim Fashionista, and here we talk about fashion, lifestyle, travel, current events, all the things. You never know what you're going to get when you hit that play button, okay? So if you're new here, welcome. So glad you found me. Please stick around, watch the video, and I hope you decide to support the channel by subscribing. To my supporters, thank you for every like, share, comment, and view. It is all appreciated. And to the trolls, keep doing what you're doing. All right, y'all, so I am back in my car, and yes, your girl is back in her wheels. I'm not in the rental car. So glad about that. I am en route to explore something, so maybe I should be called Sim Fashionista the Explorer. Sounds catchy, right? Not. But anyway, y'all, I am getting ready to go to a museum, and it's called the Glenstone Museum. So I saw someone talking about it on Instagram, and so, of course, I bookmarked it. And you know what? Today's the day. I was able to get a ticket on yesterday, or maybe it was on Wednesday. I was able to get a ticket for Friday. And what I learned is that they open up tickets like the first Friday of the month. And so they only had a couple of tickets left for the month of October. And so I lucked up and got one for Friday at 11:15, same week. So happy about that. So yes, y'all, I did see that you cannot take photos on the inside of the museum, but you can on the grounds. So that'll be interesting. And yeah, it's supposed to be a museum about reflection and mindfulness. So can't wait to see what that's about. And I'm gonna take you along with me as best as I can. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I have made it to the museum. So when I was getting ready to pull in, the young man stopped me and asked me, how can they assist me? And I was like, oh, I have a reservation. So they told me where I should park at and everything. And so now I'm trying to figure out how to get to the actual building. Stay tuned. Well, to start things off, the receptionist person, this gentleman, he was very much so on the rude side, but I was trying to tap into their Wi-Fi so I can get to my reservation code, and he was just very short-tempered when I asked questions about, things he was telling me to make sure I understood. He was like, oh, well, it's in the brochure. Well, if it's in the brochure, why are you talking to me about it? That's part of your spiel. So anyway, y'all, we're going to get past that, and we're going to continue on with this nice museum visit. Let's keep it going. I think this may be one of the galleries. It's pretty interesting looking, don't you think? Pretty cool, right? I love architecture. All right, y'all, so that building I showed you guys, that was one of the galleries, the Pavilions. I took down notes of what I saw in there, so I will go over those notes in a little bit in the video. So the lady told me how to get to that sculpture I was showing you guys from afar. So I am walking there now. So right now I'm approaching this sculpture called the Smith. So we'll show you that in a second. Stay tuned. Lots of walking, y'all, let me tell you. So y'all, this is the Smith sculpture. Yes, so reminds me of a spider, don't you think? So yeah, on to the next. So y'all, I was sitting down on a bench. I was gonna talk to y'all from there, but this tour came by. And so the tour guide said that the sculpture is called Smug, and that there's 3 of them, and that the designer made it out of plywood in his backyard. Okay, pretty interesting. So I'm on to the next one. I'm rested up. All right, y'all, I found it. I'm walking up to it as we speak. Nice. This one is called Coons, according to the brochure. So, isn't it cute? It's definitely made out of flowers. Very intricate. Yes. All right, y'all. So I found a nice little quiet spot out here so I can give you a bit of an update on what's going on with this museum and everything. So, like I said, we cannot take any pictures inside of the facility, but I did write down some notes in my little notebook here to kind of remember what I wanted to share with you all about what's inside, right? So, first and foremost, the staff in this facility a lot nicer than in the arrival hall. Let me just say that. So that was very helpful. The gentleman I talked to, I forgot his name, he was telling me that the owners of the museum also have their home on the property. So the same architect who designed the actual pavilion gallery also designed their home as well. And apparently this family that owns this property, that owns this museum, they believe in providing representation to underrepresented communities in the art world. So he was saying that you're going to find a lot of pieces that are by women and people of color, at least about 60% of the pieces, right? So that was very interesting. And so he was telling me about this one piece that I was looking at, and it is called The Sentinel. And it's by the artist named Simone Leigh. And I think they have like maybe 4 or 5 pieces of hers on the property. I think I saw at least 2 or 3 of them. Girl, I'm outside with these bugs, y'all. Work with me. Anyway, I saw about 2 or 3 of them. But the Sentinel, I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it online. If not, it is what it is. But the Sentinel reminded me of, let me just tell you what it looked like. Okay, you have this really tall figure, like a spoon. Like, think about the end of a measuring cup, a measuring spoon at the end, kind of deep, right? And then the body of the spoon is actually a woman's body, where you have like the chest, the hips, the legs, the bum in the back. You can see all of that, right? And it's black. And you have a snake wrapped around the length of this sculpture, and it's called the Sentinel. And basically he was saying that the snake is for the protection of fertility, so it's a good snake. And I was like, I would not have figured that out. I mean, when I looked at it, because I was looking at it for a while, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's like a spoon. But when I really processed it, it was the form of a woman with the snake wrapped around it, and then he explained what was going on with that piece, along with things about the owners of the property. So very enlightening. And then out in the there's like an outdoor area that has it's like an outdoor area with like a water feature, and there's like a sculpture of a black woman bent over. So I did get a video of that, so you'll see that. I'll pop a picture right here. But yeah, so she also created that piece as well. And so in the different rooms in this facility, they were very open, very airy. One room I went into, they were saying there is profanity, but in that particular room, they had a lot of like government documents from like 2001 and around that time that were like printed onto like canvas boards, and they're like, and things are redacted, and they're talking about different operations, if you will, that were conducted. There was like letters like to Condoleezza Rice that was shown, different things in there. They also had a lot of rooms in there with like marble benches with inscriptions on it, and a lot of light features that were like saying different words. It was very interesting. Now, what was really interesting to me was this other piece by Michael Heiser, and they have a installation, I'm gonna call it, called The Collapse, right? And it's 16 feet deep. So they take out 3 people at a time, and it's at an angle, and it's like a rust bronzy colored material, and it's like 16 feet deep. And then you have these, what I call pixie sticks, kind of leaning inside of it in different directions. And apparently it was made out of I forgot what material she said was made out of, but they have another sculpture from this particular artist that they only show on like Sundays. So I may have to come back to see that. But yes, y'all, it was a lot in that facility. It was very nice. And you can tell that the guides are very knowledgeable. The one gentleman, I saw him in a different room, and he was very very helpful when it came to explaining to me the different pieces that were in the display room. It's like very abstract type art in my opinion. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that you get to go see it. Now there was another room with the artist's name was Charles Ray, and he had a sculpture that was named Jeff that was in there. There's like 3 pieces in there, and the guy kind of broke it down. So Jeff is like a aluminum piece. Apparently the artist knew this homeless man, and one day he didn't see the homeless man anymore, and he decided to memorialize him with this statue. Then there's also another sculpture where you're looking at what I thought was like rumpled clothing on the floor. And she explained that the rumpled clothing was made out of aluminum dust, and it's like 45 pounds. Yes. And there was another sculpture in there. It was like a tractor trailer type of ensemble. And apparently the artist found this tractor trailer and he took it apart. He casted each piece and he rebuilt it by hand. So yes, y'all, very interesting stuff in here. I won't tell you about all of it, but definitely worth going to see. And so right now I am sitting out by the sculpture that is called Coons in this brochure. So yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to take the time to kind of give you a little bit of insight on what's going on. I am getting ready to continue my journey, and I'll check back in with y'all. See you in a few. This is the cafe that's out here. It looks real nice. Another part of the campus. That's the actual art installation right there. And that's the other restaurant called the Patio. Okay, y'all, so I just got through walking inside that art thing I just told you guys about. It was very interesting. It's called Sylvester. You just kind of walk around until the center, and there's like an open space, and like that's it. But it's pretty interesting, you know. So yeah, can you see it behind me? You can see a little bit, right? There you go. On to the next. This is the Patio, the little bakery type place. Let's go check it out. The Patio has some interesting looking pastries on their menu, so I definitely wanted to kind of pop in and see what it looks like, and I might pick up something to snack on. So let us see. This is the actual dining area. Okay, it's an actual patio. Neat. It's like the inside of the cafe. All right, y'all, I just got through browsing the gallery. So it's a little bit smaller compared to the pavilion, but it had its own unique flavor to it. So when I first walked in there, got my notes, they had a big sign talking about iconoclast. I may be saying that wrong. And it's about radical development in art over the last century. And it had all the pieces in chronological order. And so I saw a lot of black and white pieces in there. I also saw like some robotics. Like back in the day, you know, like I forgot that movie where they had like the I'm gonna call them the homemade, you know, robotic man or whatever. It was very eclectic. There was an image from, let's see, Diane Arbus of a man and his wife in their living room, nude, living at a nudist camp. So I thought that was quite interesting. I saw a soft toilet, didn't know that existed. And yeah, I saw a neon, a wall with neon affirmations, if you will, written on the wall. It was like 100 of them, right? So it was very different compared to the pavilion, very eclectic, very nice, if you will, very spacious. But, you know, I'm not going to tell you everything that's in there. So I want you to go and check it out for yourself, right? There was a lot for me to kind of walk around and take in. But yeah, so far I'm really liking this area. It was definitely well put together for sure. They have restrooms everywhere. You even have like cold water stations as well if you need that. If you need to, you know, get a ride, they have a little cart stop here. You can text and request a ride. Yeah, it's pretty convenient. So I'm gonna go and try to find these playhouses. They're doing some kind of walk-in exhibition like at 2:30. So it is 2:31 and it's at 3:30 to go find it. So let me catch up with y'all in a minute. Y'all, check this out. Reminds me of Big Bird, but blue. Super cute. And I think it spins. It spins very slowly, though. So, yeah. This is one of those clay houses that I was told about. So, yeah, I finally found them. Let's check them out. This is the second clay house. So this is the third clay house, and it's called Holes. So it's boulder, rooms with the R, and then holes. So there's a total of 3. Yes. All right, y'all. So I just got through looking at the clay houses. There are a total of 3. And the artist's name is, let me get this right, Andy Goldsworth. Okay. So the first clay house was called Boulder. And what I learned is that they built the house first, and then the artist built the boulder inside of the house. It's like this huge spear made out of clay in the center. So that was pretty interesting. The second clay house was called Room. And so literally on the inside of this establishment is just like a clay room. It's empty. Go figure, right? I thought it was broom with a B. So I was like, hey, why is it called broom? She said, no, it's called room. R-O-O-M. I said, okay, got it. Misunderstood that. And the third clay house is called Holes. And when you walk inside and the wall facing you, it's like this, it's like a circular indentation into the wall with different layers. That's what you get the hole name from, right? H-O-L-E, hole. So yes, y'all, that was the clay houses, and I think I've seen pretty much everything. The lady was saying that this museum was built like in 2006, but the pavilion is like the newest part, and that was in 2018, so that was pretty interesting. But yeah, so let me continue my journey, and I'll check back in with you all. All right, y'all, here's a sculpture from Miss Simone Lee called Satellite. Remember when I went into the pavilion, I told you about a sculpture too that she had in there. So this is one you can kind of see because out here in the middle of the environment. So check it out. Check out her style. Shout out to her. So this is the 4-round sculpture. Here are the 2 buried sinks. So I just showed you guys the nameplate, and here are the actual sinks. Not very intrusive, but hey, here we go. Y'all, I have been here since about 11:30. It is now 3:30, y'all. So I've been enjoying myself. Let's keep it going. I'm almost done. All right, y'all. So I just finished my time here at Glenstone. I really enjoyed it. It is free to the public. Free parking, but you do have to, you know, request a admission ticket in advance unless you're like a veteran, military educator, etc. So, what did you all think about the Glenstone? I'm a little winded because y'all know what? I did a lot of walking. I mean, I worked out this morning and then I came out here and worked out again. Didn't expect that. But anyway, y'all, if you're still here, thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all on my next video. Bye. Hey y'all, let's get into my outfit of the day. This cowgirl hat is an oldie but goodie. I got it from an accessory store in San Antonio that actually shut down before I moved. I can't think of the name of it, but there are others in the state. Sorry. These glasses are prescription, okay? My gold floral earrings and my super cute gold floral bracelet are from TJ Maxx. Yes. This yellow maxi dress has compression built into it. I did a trial haul for it. It's from Amazon. I have one of these super cute, colorful flats. Let me show you. These flats are from Macy's. Got them on clearance a while ago. And my straw bag is from DSW. So y'all, that is my look. And I will see you on the next vid.